Whoa. 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 Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for. I can't remember the rest of the words, so we're just gonna go with that basically, because I can't remember the rest of the words. So yeah, welcome to the greatest podcast ever. If WWE can do it, I can do that. But yeah, this is my podcast review of WWE's Backlash. If you're watching on Twitch, thank you for joining me live, and sorry for going live not properly. If you're watching on YouTube, then thank you for watching, and if you ever want to join me live, just go down in the comments down below, and whenever there's a pay-per-view, I'll be watching. I'll be here giving my review of it. So yeah, I think that's all the admin stuff going on. But yeah, I'm going to be reviewing Backlash. Again, sorry to those of you on Twitch that I fucked up the live. So I'm ever so sorry for that. But yeah, I'm just going to give a rundown of each individual match. There wasn't any segments really. Well, there was one, but it was meant to be a match, so I'm still going to cover that. But yeah, I'm going to go through each individual match. If you're here live, you can be in the chat and basically just say what you think to each match yourself. And that'll be lovely. So, we're going to start off with the kickoff show, which was Apollo Crews versus Andrade. Which, with with Angel Garza. I keep calling him Angle Garza. I don't know why. I just keep mucking that up. But it's Angel Garza at ringside. Then Kevin Owens comes down and he sits on commentary because him and Angel Garza are in a rivalry right now. So he's basically stopping Angel Garza from getting involved. Surprise, surprise. That's exactly what happens. Angel Garza gets involved and Kevin Owens comes to the rescue. But yeah, this is a really slick match. I really like these two. I think Andrade, I've always thought would be ready for the main event scene at any point, and I think he proved it here. You know, I don't remember a single botch. Everything looked perfect. You know, even the thing in the corner when they have to hold themselves up for the double foot stomp, they made it make sense in terms of the match. Like, it wasn't like, oh, Apollo was draped there, he tried to gill up and then held himself there. It was quite simply, as Andrade was getting himself ready, Apollo kept trying to get back up, to which Andrade kept slapping him down. Obviously, he doesn't lift himself back up. He tries to lift himself back up to stop Andrade. It made sense, then the double foot stop came in, but he missed it, which I thought was a nice touch because you don't see that very often. But Apollo really proved himself here. He really proved himself. I think I wasn't the only one when it was shown that when Apollo won the title. I was a bit skeptical because he hadn't really had a character yet. He just was there. He was a guy with good moves, and in WWE right now, a guy with good moves usually isn't enough anymore. They have to be a little bit better than that. And it sounds stupid to say that, but genuinely, it's no longer about it's no longer about how good you are in the ring. It's about your character as well. You have to have a mix. You can't just have one. But yeah, this match was really good, really slick. It was very quick, obviously, because it was on the pre-show. But yeah, Angel Garza got involved. Well, Apollo Crews did his finisher that finished the match against Andrade the first time. Angel Garza got involved. Then Kevin Owens went, I'm going off commentary. I'm going to sort this out. He pulls down Angel Garza, gives him the stunner. That takes out Angel Garza, and then Andrade goes for the underhook DDT or whatever he does, and Apollo Crews lifts him up, does his really nice powerbomb, like really nice powerbomb, and picks up the victory. So yeah, it was a really good match. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun a fun kickoff match. Bit of a shame it didn't make it onto the main card because, to be honest with you, there's a certain segment I'll go to later that didn't need to be on the main card and was about as long as this match. And I think this match would have done better being on the main card than the other thing I'm going to cover later. So yeah, I thought it was really good. I thought Apollo and Andrade really proved themselves. I think Andrade, I don't think they will, but I hope Andrade goes up the card because, to be honest with you, I really like him and I think he's really, really good. So yeah, I hope he goes up the card and I hope Apollo has a really good reign. It'll probably come to the point where, to be honest, I quite like Apollo to turn heel in this little in this reign he's got currently. I think him turning heel, it would really elevate his stock. I think he needs a really good character, and I think turning heel will be that first step to getting that. Maybe turn heel on Kevin Owens. Maybe that's it. Because that would be really good. Slow burn it, but that would be really good. So, yeah, next up, which was the first match on the main card, was the women's tag match. The women's tag match, I think pretty much everyone kind of guessed this was going to open the show. You usually try and open the show on a Mayhem tag match that's just really good. And this lived up to the expectations. Well, I say that, it lived up to the expectations of a normal tag match. I think the women's tag bouts currently have a reputation of just being throwaway bouts for the right reasons, because it seems like WWE just don't care about them. But in this match, it worked. It really was a good match. I thought every team had their time to shine. I actually thought, in terms of the match, Sasha and Bayley were technically the weakest. I don't know if anyone else got that impression, but I got the impression that they were the weakest in this match. And I'm happy with that because right now there's a little tension between Sasha and Bayley. They kind of won the titles with tension being there. And then Alexa, Nikki Cross are a team. Then you've got Peyton Royce and Billie Kay are a team. And yeah, it just them two are solid teams, and you got this one that is having dissension. So technically, that one, even though it's got two main event stars, should be the worst team in there. Even if they flukily pick up the win, which they did, they probably didn't look the best in the match, which is what I like. I'm bored of seeing WWE put two main event stars together. I know Sasha and Bayley are technically a proper tag team, but I hate them seeing putting two main event stars together, have them beat the tag champs, have them beat other tag teams. It's like, you're not a proper tag team. A proper tag team should win against two main event stars. It should happen all the time. Whether those main event stars like it or not, it should happen. Unless there's a fluky win, which in this case there was. And I thought that was a good idea. Sasha rolling up Alexa Bliss after she hit the Twisted Bliss to pick up the win. And it worked really well. I didn't think there was needed to be any more tension between Sasha and Bayley. We all know there's tension between them. But just slow burn it. Don't rush it, you know. It's subtle little things, you know. Subtle things like the way they look at each other. Things like that is what's good, and you've just got to focus on those points rather than just rushing it, because if you rush it, it's not going to be a good story. The best storylines are the ones that are patient. So yeah, I think this one, really good opener, really enjoyed it. There was some good spots in there. It was just fast paced. I don't think you can complain really with it, can you? No, I can't remember which one was the next match. I think think it was this one. I think. I'm going to cover them all anyway, and luckily they don't involve an order. I remember the end order. I just can't remember this order. But yeah, so I think that was the case, wasn't it? I think so. I think it was this match next, which was Hardy versus Sheamus. They started off a lot less heated than I thought they'd start off with, because they were squaring off, and then as soon as they started, that was it. It was full pout. Do you know what? You might forget how good these two are, but again, it was just a slick match. You know, the Hardy running along the barricade and the plexiglass to then get bro kicked looked awesome. The Whisper in the Wind looked quite good. I thought again, this is a good fun match, and yeah, Sheamus picked up the win in the end with the bro kick. He hit the bro kick on the outside, put Hardy in the ring, then hit the bro kick on the inside, and won the match. And I thought that was a good option. There was a really good near fall with Hardy hitting the Swanton Bomb, and then Sheamus putting his leg up on the ropes. That was good. I like that. It's a trope that's not used so often, but it's still effective. And yeah, really, really good. So yeah, this match was good. It was really good. Really, really enjoyed it. And thought, do you know what? These two, I would happily see them wrestle again on pay-per-view. I think they have good chemistry together, and I think this feud can go on a bit longer. I like the realism of their rivalry. Some people say they don't like it. I like it. I think it's pretty good. So yeah, I like the realism. I just don't like the piss segments. The piss segments I don't really like. So yeah, I mean, come on. It's some piss. You don't need any piss. You just don't. Like I get that's the point, but like I get that's why. But yeah, you just don't need it. I think you can build the rivalry based on other stuff as well. So, but yeah, really good match. It wasn't the longest in the world, but it was still good. So, yeah, that was that match. And then we move on to the women's match. Now, I'm mixed on this. Because I liked this match until the end. I thought, in fairness to Nia, she did really, really well. She did well. And I say she did well. She didn't botch. And recently she's been known for botching a lot. And I don't like that. And it's frustrating when you see someone be pushed and all they do is botch. But she did well. She had something to prove in this match. She did well. Fair play to her. Asuka is amazing as always. It's Asuka. She's awesome. But the ending of this match was a double count out. Why? Like, I swear. Well, the thing is, I'm sorry, spoilers for Raw if you haven't seen it, but on Raw, Asuka won the rematch. So, what was the point in the draw here? I don't get it. Well, why? Why not just have Asuka go over? Why not? There's rumours that it might have been a botch, the double count out, and that wasn't what it was meant to be, or something like that. But I don't know. It just seemed a bit weird. I don't know what anyone else thinks, but this was weird. I didn't like it. I thought the ending just really sucked. It just sucked the life a little bit out the show, which has been a pretty decent show so far. But I think this was one of multiple matches that the ending I didn't enjoy, and they all came back to back. And I just, it always frustrates me when that happens. But yeah, this match, it was alright. It was there. It was there. So, yeah, I just didn't like the ending. It made no sense. And then the fact that they redid the match on Raw and there wasn't any shenanigans and Asuka just won. Why not just have her go over on the pay-per-view, make her look strong? It just worries me because it says to me that Vince might not like Asuka, and that's a real shame because she's been a proper MVP during all of this. No pun intended to the actual wrestler MVP. Anyway, so next up was Strowman versus Miz and Morrison in a handicap match. And do you know what? This match was good. It had me in places. It genuinely had me. I thought for a split second Miz and Morrison were going to win. Until I realised, oh wait, one of them's going to pull the other one off Strowman. And then Strowman's going to win the match, causing dissension between Miz and Morrison. And that's exactly what happened. Why? It just didn't need to happen, did it? Just didn't need to happen. It just really didn't. Like, it's Strowman. Don't get me wrong. Strowman shouldn't beat Miz and Morrison on his own. He shouldn't. But then Miz and Morrison shouldn't have been put in this position in the first place. They are really good singles wrestlers. And for some reason, Vince or just whoever it is really likes the idea of Strowman beating tag teams on his own. They have done for years now. And it just shows to me that WWE don't care about their tag team division. That is shown very much later on in the show. And it just winds me up. I just don't like it. I think it really diminishes Miz and Morrison's tag credentials, you know. But it's also the fact I guess they've been protected a little bit because I had Strowman beat and then Miz and Morrison had dissension. But I don't want dissension between these two. I only wanted dissension between these two if Miz or Morrison won the title. I think if Miz or Morrison won the Universal title, then the one got more and more jealous of the other. That would work. And then you can have a blow-off match at like SummerSlam or even further down the line if you really wanted to. I'm just, why don't, if you want dissension, do that. Because I know you want Strowman with the belt, but we all know what's going to happen. We all know it's going on The Fiend. We all know that. We don't want it. We don't want Fiend to have it, but it's going to happen because WWE really like the idea of putting the belt on The Fiend. The Fiend shouldn't have had the belt for at least a year and a half, 2 years. Like, build him up as a beast because he doesn't need the title. Like, I think if you look back at when Undertaker, Kane came in, they had a chance to just make him look like a monster. Then they rose up the card slowly, and then they got to the top. And then if they got beat at the top, they got beat at the top. But you've had a year and a half to build up their credentials, so when they lose for the first time, they don't look like idiots. When Fiend lost to Goldberg, he looked like an absolute knob, basically. He just did. He looked awful in the match. And it's horrible to say, but he looked terrible. And I mean terrible. He was just awful, wasn't he? He really was awful. But then, obviously, then the Fiend's they're now going to go after Strowman because of what happened between Strowman and Bray Wyatt. But I just don't want the Fiend to have the title. I don't think that's the right decision. I think there's other people that can have the title, and I think that, you know, the Strowman Bray Wyatt storyline has enough storyline there to not need the title on them. Put them on someone else. Just do it. And I think if you want dissension between Miz and Morrison, put the title on Miz or Morrison in this match. But that didn't happen. You've caused dissension. I hope this is just like something they bypass and that's used in video packages when they do break up. If they break up, which they will, because it's WWE, and WWE don't care about the tag division, so they'll just break up. So yeah, it's a shame, but yeah, I just didn't like the finish. I thought it didn't need dissension, and I just didn't like the idea of the match in general. So those two things just brought this down. So we had the first two matches plus the pre-show, which were good matches, and I really enjoyed. And the last two, they left a sour taste in my mouth, which was just a bit annoying, really. Talking of sour tastes, and this isn't the biggest sour taste either. This isn't the biggest at all sour taste. Don't worry about that. I'll get to that after this. Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley. Good match. Bobby Lashley has just had his best match in WWE. I'm putting it out there. Bobby Lashley just had his best match. And fair play to him. He deserves it. He thoroughly deserves it. I think he really showed himself off to be very good. The attack at the start of the match, I think everyone saw through it and thought, okay, Drew's definitely winning this. But just have Drew overcome the odds. Just have Drew overcome the odds. We don't need Lana. We don't want Lana. No one wants Lana. Why? I just don't get it. I don't get it. Oh, dearie me. I mean, this match was good. Lana came down, and I'm no word of a lie, I went, ugh, because it just, I knew it was going to happen, because the storyline was leading up to Lana getting involved. Now on Raw, Bobby Lashley called for a divorce. Good, because Bobby Lashley on his own is much better than Bobby Lashley with Lana. Yeah, it just was a bit, the match was great. I thought the fact that Drew didn't get to take off his jacket for the majority of this match, I thought was really good. I thought the idea that Drew didn't take his jacket off, Bobby Lashley did. You know, it really good selling point for Bobby. It just made Bobby look awesome. Like, it made him look like a beast, you know. Nothing bad at all. It was just really good and made Bobby look great. It made him look great in defeat. It didn't do anything for McIntyre in the win. It made McIntyre look like he needed Lana's involvement to beat Bobby Lashley. Now, I will eat my words and saying this wasn't amazing if down the line Bobby Lashley gets another shot. If Bobby Lashley gets another shot at the title and Drew McIntyre overcomes Bobby Lashley, then I'll be okay with it a little bit more. You know, have them have the let them do the Bobby Lashley Lana storyline, then have Drew face someone else, and then at maybe SummerSlam have Bobby beat not Bobby beat Drew. I don't want that. Have Bobby be in the match with Drew, and have Drew beat him. Have a really good match. Have the two of them square off, and then we can see this rivalry end properly. No shenanigans, no Lana, just normal one-on-one. Maybe have a stipulation if you really want it, and just just show these two off, because they really seem to have good chemistry together in the ring, and I think it would be a really good idea to have these two square off again in the future. So I'll eat my words out if that's the plan. If that's not the plan, and this is it for Bobby in the main event scene, then I feel sorry for him, because he did a great job, and it just got wasted by the fact that, you know, he has to be with Lana, because Vince likes Lana. And to be honest with you, if Lana goes, I don't care that much. Like, if Lana goes, like, I'm just not Lana's biggest fan. I don't think they found anything. I liked her as Rusev's ring announcer. Like Alberto Del Rio had a ring announcer. I liked that. I just didn't like the storylines involving her. I just don't think that's her thing. I think she'd be good as like a manager with clients. I think that's the better option for her. But I don't think that's the way they'll go with her. They'll just want relationship storyline after relationship storyline. It's frustrating, but again, just another match. Really good until the end, where there's just a sour taste, because it could have been so much more than what it was. And it's a real shame. A real shame. Next up, yeah. Let's just take a moment, shall we? Let's take a moment to think about what this match could have been. It could have been a match. It could have been a match where these two faced off, where the Street Profits beat the Viking Raiders beat the Street Profits. Their rivalry either continued or finished, and this would be it. But no, that didn't happen, did it? No, it didn't. So they had a cinematic match, which everyone's going, oh, you know, it's a cinematic match. We've had some good ones. This was very much along the veins of whatever you could do, we can do Bella's storyline that's been going on, and it just continued that, which is why I said this should have gone on the pre-show. The Apollo match should have been on the main show. This didn't need to be on the main show. This just didn't need to be there. You advertised a match, which didn't happen. Like, but there was no reason for it not happening. They just ended up in a dumpster at the end of it. So basically, these two they were fighting outside. Strowman had his car done in again. Ha 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 ha. Strowman's car keeps getting hit. Then they started going down, then there were flashbacks, and there were turkey legs, then there were bowling balls, then there was Viking shields, and there was Viking axes, then there was golf clubs, there was this, that, the other, all callbacks to their little rivalry that's been going on. Then they decided to fight like men and started fighting, and then one of them went through one of the store windows or something. Then they kept having flashbacks to stuff that was going on. Then they went into the parking lot. Then there was some bikes that turned up. Then there was this masked man that went over and took his helmet off and ended up being Tozawa. Why Tozawa? No one knows. No one knows why it was Tozawa. There's been no storyline reason, nothing there that says Tozawa even cares about these people. Why is Tozawa there? I don't know. Do you know why it was probably there? It gave them a reason to put up the graphics of the Viking Profits by putting Viking Raiders and Street Profits together, making Viking Profits. Wonderful. Just because these two teams have great comedy timing doesn't mean you need to put them together. Like, oh my god, this just frustrating. Frustrating is the word. I've seen what these two teams can do in the ring. I've seen that. And they're both very good. They don't need this. This is not what they need. They need a proper match. They need matches to, a rivalry to grab hold of. But again, WWE just don't care about their tag team division. Their tag team division means nothing. And I feel sorry for these teams, because to be honest with you, they'd held on a little bit and ended up in, well, if they'd stayed in NXT, amazing. If they had ended up in AEW, brilliant. Because those two are the best companies right now for tag team wrestling. They just are. WWE main roster, no, they are awful at tag team. Oh, Jesus. They are awful at tag team wrestling. They just don't understand it. They don't get it. Which is why they keep putting two main event stars together, making them win the titles, because they're better. No, tag team division means a lot nowadays. It's a really good wrestling trade, so I don't know. I don't know why this happened, but then you had the Viking Prophets beat the ninjas, because they were ninjas. They were just performance center recruits. They weren't ninjas. Then there was this big giant ninja. Whoa. And you'd think 4 against 1. Actually, he had a katana, didn't he? He had a katana. The one Viking Raider went for him and everyone was like, no, don't do that. You'll get chopped up into pieces. Let's run away. So they run up the truck. They run alongside the truck. Then they start fighting a little bit. Then they chuck each other in this dustbin thing. Which was quite funny for the fact of No Way Jose was on the side of the truck. If you don't know, No Way Jose was furloughed. Well, he wasn't furloughed, he was released off his contract. Yeah, No Way Jose was shown on screen and he was released. They could have used any other part of this truck. Any other truck. They used that one. I thought it was funny. I don't think that was the purpose, but I thought it was funny. Then they go into the dustbin. Then in the dustbin, he starts having flashbacks to people saying that Ivar was cute, but Eric not so much. And then the only female main roster referee, then goes up and goes, "Oh, you're cute. You not so much." I don't like. And then she was like, "Oh, you guys are going to be late for your match." Then we go to commentary, and commentary tell us, "Oh, wait, there's no match." Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Oh! Sorry, headphone users, for that. Oh, it's just frustrating, isn't it? It's just frustrating. 1, these two teams shouldn't be in this position. 2, the female referee, who's a very good referee, has now been made to look like an idiot because she's female, I presume. And I know it just defeats the credibility. You don't have a referee in a storyline. You have a match professional. You know, they need to be treated as professionals. You know, even in AEW, or Aubrey Edwards, you know, she's a referee, she has some character, but is she flirting with men? No. No, she doesn't have to. So I don't know why WWE thought this was a good idea. I just don't get it. It could have been anyone else. It could have been anyone. Could have been Stephanie McMahon for all I fucking care. Jesus. It's just embarrassing, really, isn't it? It's just embarrassing. And I feel bad for her. I really do. She didn't deserve this. This match was an absolute dud. It was awful. Absolutely awful. And I just didn't enjoy it. Just... Right, before we get to the main event, we're going to take a little ad break. Just, I want to see whether this works. And then I'm just going to go and grab a drink during the ad break, and I will see you for what I think of the main event of Backlash. to the ad breakers over. There we go. Thank you very much for sticking around. Hopefully that worked. It should have done. Otherwise, you just see me walk away and come back. But yeah, I just needed a bit of extra thingy, and I also wanted to test out if the advert thing worked. So, but now we come to the greatest wrestling match ever, and I mean ever. Because that's what WWE promised. They promised the greatest wrestling match ever. All jokes aside, this was a great match. Oh, match of the night by far. By far, match of the night. Wow. So they did their entrances. So yeah, they did their entrances normally. Then the Greatest Showman music started playing. Then it lit up in the middle of the ring as this microphone started falling. And it said MSG on it. And then all you heard was Howard Finkel's voice introducing the main event and the two people in the ring, Randy Orton and Edge. The referee was in an old referee's basically costume, well, suit type thing, uniform. That's it. That's the word. So yeah, he was in an old referee uniform, and yeah, he was just really good match. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot of spots relating to old feuds, old wrestlers. It was just like history's greatest hits in this match. Randy got busted open from a headbutt. Edge's element of doubt throughout the match as to whether he could get it done. Then you had Randy. You had angle slam. Well, just listen off the things they did. So there was like an angle slam. There was the Ricky Steamboat, Ric Flair slapping spot. Then you had. What else did you have? So you had that. Yeah. Then you had the pedigree, the kill switch, or the unprettier. Then you had the execution. You had the draping DDT. You had the spine thing that Randy does. Oh, it was just full of the greatest hits. And then it was near fall after near fall, and each one was getting me more and more as the match went on for about 45-50 minute match. Oh, it was just so good. It was so clever, so clever and so good. Really enjoyed this one. And then you had Randy hit an RKO. 1, 2, kick out. Then there was a bit more wrestling going on. Then there was another RKO. 1, 2, kick out. I was like, oh my god. Then Randy went, I can't get this done. So he went back into the corner, went for the punt kick, spear. I was like, oh my god. And then he didn't go for the pin. Edge didn't go for the pin. I was like, what are you doing? He went for another spear. He hit the spear. 1, 2, kick out again. I literally, the near falls in this match. So good. So good. Unbelievable stuff. Absolutely unbelievable stuff. I thought it was brilliant. Absolutely bloody brilliant. But yeah, they were just awesome again, that just, and then it came to the final moments, things just started wrapping up, and you could tell it was starting to wrap up, and there were superplexes, this, that and the other, and then punt kick. Randy stepped up, he went backwards, he ran forwards, and punted Edge in the head. Randy Orton punted for the first time since 2013 on Edge, who has had many neck injuries and nearly had to retire due to one. Mwah! Beautiful storytelling. Now Edge is injured. He's got a torn tricep. There were 2 recordings of this match. They used the first one. Edge got injured in the second. This match was phenomenal. I think what they can do, they brought out the stretcher and stuff, and Edge looked okay, but sell it to the fans as if he's not injured his tricep, that he's injured his. He's worried about his neck again. He's gone to spend time with his family. Progress the storyline. I don't know how. Maybe, subtly have it there. Don't be blatantly obvious with it. But yeah, this was a very, very good match. Very good match. And thoroughly enjoyed every single second of it. I mean, what else can I say? It was awesome. Was it the greatest wrestling match ever? Probably not. No, it wasn't. Was it one I'll happily watch again? Yes. Yes, it is. For me, this is one I'm going to talk about. And what a way to show that Edge and Randy Orton still have it in them. They still have it. They're still amazing. Wow. Fair play. And will I happily see a rematch of this? Yes. Yes, I would. But there are only 2 stipulations I want in the rematch. He's out for about 8 months. So I don't know. Edge might be out for about 8 months. Which would, take us past the Royal Rumble now? So, aim maybe for a Royal Rumble return. I don't know how I feel about that again. I mean, it would be cool, wouldn't it? His 3rd Royal Rumble return. But I'd love him to do a miraculous recovery, similar to John Cena did back in the day when he won the Royal Rumble. And have Edge come back early. And I want Hell in a Cell. If Edge could get back for Hell in a Cell, oh my god, if he could halve the time, that would be amazing. If not, and it has to go to WrestleMania next year, what a match to have at WrestleMania next year. Have a Hell in a Cell, or the other stipulation is an I Quit match. An I Quit match would be really good. I would really like it, but I would change it. Only slightly, but I would change it. I would change it to a You're Better Than Me match. Because these two have giant egos, right? Have it similar to an I Quit match. Have the rules the same. But instead of saying I quit, they have to say You're Better Than Me. Their 2 egos are too big. They are too big. So why not do it? Why not? We know for a fact that Edge will never say that Randy Orton's better than him. We know for a fact Randy Orton will never say that Edge is better than him. So turn it into a match. Have Randy say, Edge, you're better than me, because he's been beaten up so much. That, for me, what a story, and what a way to end the story. I think that would be amazing. I think that would be the way to end it. And for me, you just come full circle. So yeah, that was Backlash. I think it was overall a very, very good show. I think it was one of those where the start and the end was brilliant. It was that 3-4 segments in the middle, like you had the 3 matches where the matches were good, just the ending sucked. Then you had the Street Profits and Viking Raiders thing, which I get why, and apparently the kids have absolutely loved it. It just wasn't. It wasn't my thing. I think for me, it's only because the Apollo match got put to the pre-show, and I think it would have been better to have that match on the main card. But just don't announce this match then. Don't announce the Street Profits match. You know, maybe just say there's another segment in this storyline. Don't say it's a match, because I just don't. Because then I would have liked to see a match, and now I've been robbed of it. And if it was like a heel robbing me, then fine, but they're not heels, they're faces, so it makes no sense for them to be robbing me of this. So yeah, those are my bugbears, but overall was a great show. Please tell me what you think. I'll be very, very interested. I think I thought this was great. I think there's a lot they can go with this in the future. I think there's different storylines they can go with, and I like it. I like it a lot. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. Put what you thought. If you're watching on YouTube, put what you thought in the comments down below. And I'll get around to replying to you. I don't know when the next pay-per-view is. I don't know what to do about Fyter Fest. AEW's Fyter Fest. I don't know what to do with that. And then Extreme Rules and stuff. I'll come around to it and work out what to do. But until then, this will be it for a little bit. I've had 2 weeks of this because WWE have put obviously NXT and their WWE pay-per-views close together recently. So yeah, but thank you guys for watching on Twitch. If you're watching the stream, thank you very much appreciate that. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for watching this video and watching my podcast. Hopefully in the future I'll get a few people involved, and you can have other people's opinions, other people's thoughts, and get them either on screen or just so you can hear them and you can watch them on their channel, sort of thing. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next podcast. See ya.